Hi.
Hi.
Well, hello. Hi, Santi.
How are you, Denise?
I'm well. Okay, so I think we can get started. We're giving everyone an opportunity to join in such that we can get into this webinar. Once again, welcome to each and every one of you that has joined us today. We will be speaking with Santi. He prefers to be called Santi. I hope that's right, Santi. Yeah, so we will be speaking with him on how artificial intelligence is empowering the advertising and marketing industries. Shortly, I'll share a brief bio and profile of Santi, and then Santi, you will go right into your presentation and take us through this. So Santi is he's a Silicon Valley-based technology entrepreneur and CEO, and as well as co-founder of Core, an all-in-one smart management software that serves worldwide top creative agencies. He's always had two drivers, which is doing something big, as well as giving opportunity to people who have never had them. So prior to Core, he founded Balloon Group, which bootstrapped and with a number of investors' capital to become one of Argentina's fast-growing companies in the industry. Even though Balloon Group was and still is successful, while its billing grew steadily, its profitability was unpredictable, and they realized that in order for the company's profitability, they had to go into core projects. So that's when Santi moved to Silicon Valley, the world's tech epicenter, to empower the creative industry by launching Core, the next generation AI-powered solution that gives real-time visibility and of team availability and status of each project by automating time tracking, so they don't need to log hours manually. So without further ado, Santi, kindly take it away as you share with us how AI is empowering the advertising and marketing industries. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. And hi, everyone. It is a pleasure for us and for me to be here. For us, I'm taking I'm talking on behalf of Core. So for us, it's a pleasure to be talking with all these great agencies from Uganda. On the other side of the world, we are, as Denise said, I'm Argentinian, but I've been living in Silicon Valley for the last 5 years. And thanks for the presentation. I'm gonna start sharing screen. Please, you let me know when you can see.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great, awesome. So Core is the smart all-in-one management solution for creative agencies. Denise has already gone through the video, but the most important thing that I would like for you guys to retain from this is that we are on your side, right? Is that I studied social communications. I've always wanted to work on agencies. I wanted to create stuff. And I started working on an agency. Then I started as creative. Then I started as creative outside this agency. Then I moved into the agency, into the account department. And then at the age of 21, I started my own agency, right? At the age of 22, 23 years old, three partners joined me on this company, which was named Balloon Group, and it still is called Balloon Group. This company is based in 8 countries. has grown a lot significantly and was named Argentina's fastest growing company, fastest growing e-commerce agency in 2014. But as Denise said, the revenue was going well, the team was growing a lot, but we started facing a problem. And at that time, when we started facing that problem, we started realizing that everyone among us was having the same problem. We started asking the big agencies of this world, that you might know them very well. You can assume these are from Omnicom, WPP, IPG, Havas, Dentsu, the largest ones, and at the same time, the smallest ones, independent agencies as well. So I started asking, hey guys, how are you solving all the profitability problem that we are all facing? And said, like, there's no tool where we can match this. And that's when we understood that in the professional services industry, where agencies are part of this industry, like, and with the professional services industry, we refer to all the billable hours market. We understood that revenues come mostly from selling fixed price projects. But at the same time, I mean, with fixed price projects, we refer to these monthly fees, right, that agencies have with customers. But at the same time, all our hours within an agency are, all our costs are variable hours. I mean, all our costs are the time that people are spending on each task. This means that any deviation from an initial estimation or new requirements makes a profitable project unprofitable and available people unavailable, because each task that has been estimated for completion in 4 hours, if the client requires any other change and it takes 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, we will end up with an unexpected unprofitability and unexpected saturation of the whole company. And we realized that this was not just happening in Argentina and Latin America, but in the whole world. That's why we moved to Silicon Valley to solve this on a global pace. If profit margins keep going down, we will have people overworking. I mean, you can all see this everywhere, every time. People working for long hours and probably this amount of hours not reflective on salaries. And at the same time, burnout, talent, oversaturation, and this will, of course, increase turnovers. And you can, as an agency, you cannot increase your costs if you don't increase your prices, right? If you don't increase your fee with your client, you won't hire more people, you won't increase the salary of the people, right? Because it's impossible. You cannot pay more to the people if you don't charge more to your clients. So everything here in the professional services industry and in the agencies market, it's all about time. If we don't care about time, I mean, advertising is the content. As for lawyers, is the legal stuff, and for accountants is all the accounting stuff. For advertising, for agencies, advertising is part of the content, but the business is about time. It's about hours. Because the tool that better understands where people spend their time and reflect that input into estimates, I mean, in the proposals we send to the clients, into the capacity, into the deadlines, into the profits, is a tool that will lead this new category. And we're talking now about AI. AI is is a magnificent tool that we have. Like, I mean, when we say we have, is like the world is facing a lot of changes that were not doable some years ago. I mean, it's common for people to hate, and mostly for creative people to hate logging hours. I mean, everyone hates logging hours manually, right? Because we think that our time is precious, and that we have not been hired for logging hours. At the same time, we feel that sensation of being controlled. So we hate logging hours manually, right? And this is common, and it's common to have a culture of rejection to this task of tracking time. But this is mostly cultural. In AI and machine learning are changing. Machine learning is part of AI, right? And this is changing how advertising and marketing, the advertising and marketing industry is operating all around the world. And in different aspects. I mean, when we go to content creation, we can talk about like content generation, audio, videos, and games. I mean, you can easily find AI for key stuff like even on YouTube, right? How different is to search for a song on Spotify rather than YouTube, right? When you search a song in Spotify today, I mean, January 2022, you won't, I mean, if you don't remember the name of the song and you put just some words of the song, you won't find that song because it has no AI. If you do the same stuff on YouTube, YouTube will suggest that song, right? Same things happen in Google. Same things happen in a lot of different platforms that would suggest based on AI. When we can also see 3D effects and visual special effects reconstruction in terms of post-production workflows, right? And when it comes to information analysis, we can use AI for different stuff, and one of these is management, right? I mean, we've been using AI in the past years for content creation, for like suggesting copies for different ads, to do ads in a massive way. I mean, instead of designing 800 banners for a client, we can just design 1, 2, 3 banners and then use AI to suggest different copies with different designs, mix them, and do this massively. At the same time, like AI for suggesting how to send emails. I mean, the subject, the content, like we can use AI for email marketing, for banner design, for web design, for a lot of different things. But on the agencies market, we didn't realize that we can also use AI for managing the business. And it's very important to understand that if we understand where people are spending their time, we can easily automatize this output, which is capacity and which is profitability mostly, right? If we understand where people are spending their time and we automatize this input that is time, I mean, time being tracked, people logging hours automatically, we're gonna see in real time as a clock how capacity is being fulfilled and how profitability is going higher and higher as a clock moving up and to the right, and like how costs are moving up and to the right, and how profitability is going down as soon as people are logging hours, right? Because as soon as we start putting costs into a task, into a project, we're gonna see how more hours and how the higher cost is getting into the project, right? So AI automating time tracking can give us real-time visibility of availability per team and per member, and visibility of the status of each project, so we can make decisions in real time. We can calculate profitability, and we can also project profitability if we know how much time these tasks are going to take, because machine learning can understand how much time each task takes to a specific person and to a specific client, because it's not the same time, that the same amount of time, the same amount of reworks, of deviations that a client asks with respect to another one. I mean, you can have a more demanding client, and you need to understand how much, in average, if this client takes you 38% more time on reworks, that will mean that in your next proposal, in your next estimate, you need to add this 30% average, 38% average of extra time on the proposal, right? So, and when you, as a project manager, estimate the time for completion on the tasks, you need to understand how much time, how much extra time this client always requires. That's how you, and asking this to a project manager to do this manually is almost impossible. That's why you normally require machine learning understanding all of these, how much time it takes to a specific person do a specific task to a specific client, in order to do this automatically, all these estimations automatically. So we faced this problem in our agency a couple of years ago, and we moved to the Valley as we understood that this was impossible without AI, and we need to learn a lot. Like I'm talking about like 4 to 5 years ago, we needed to learn a lot from top tech people, and also receive a lot of money, do some financing rounds in order to develop a solution that will empower a lot of agencies around the world. And it was impossible to do this like bootstrapped with no capital. That's why we moved to the Valley and we launched Core. Core is the all-in-one management solution for creative agencies that automates timesheets to predict profitability, reduce work overload, and improve client engagements. As we said, and like we are a vertical solution, an all-in-one solution. So Core has resource management, project management, time management, and business intelligence. Today, most of our current clients switched from horizontal project management tools such as Asana, Trello, Basecamp, Monday, Jira, Rike, Microsoft Projects, and more, to come to an all-in-one solution for agencies with AI. Today, we're working with most of the largest agencies around the world, such as Ogilvy, BBDO, McCann, Lowe Burnett, Milne Lowe, BML-Y&R, Wunderman Thompson, Gray, Havas, Dentsu, Saatchi, DDB, and thousands of smaller and independent creative teams, right? So a lot of agencies in Africa, a lot of agencies in Asia. I mean, today we are in 32 different countries. In terms of Africa, we have agencies working with Core in Nigeria, in Kenya, in Morocco, and I think we're about to work with other countries like South Africa and Uganda as well. Here, these are the brands that are using Core with their agencies. This is the founding team and how the how the company is composed. We have great investors, most of them from Silicon Valley. I mean, we have Kevin O'Connor, who is the founder of DoubleClick, the largest company that Google ever acquired. Then we have Kevin Thompson as well, who was who was the vice president at Google. He led YouTube for a couple of years. Then he went as vice president on Uber. We have Tom Chavez, who started Crooks, a company acquired by Salesforce for over $1 billion. Then Ed Gastelright, who was Walmart's CEO. David Sable, whom you might know probably, who was the global CEO at BMO-Y&R, formerly known as Young and Rubicam from WPP. And then a lot of amazing guys from the tech ecosystem, like Doug Smith, co-founder of Anaplan, public company, and some other folks, as well as great venture capital firms like GFC, which were like early investors at Facebook, LinkedIn, Slack, and more. So this is all as of now. Thank you very much, and I'm here for any Q&A or questions you might have.
Thank you, Santi, for that enlightening presentation. In case anyone has questions, the Q&A is open. You could raise your hand so that we hand the microphone over to you, or the mic over to you, such that you can ask the questions, or just drop them in the chat, and we'll read them for Santi. I'll give it about 2 minutes in case anyone has a question, query.
I think here Peter Gaga raised his hand, I think.
Okay. Over to you, Peter.
Yeah, hi guys. Thanks for that really great presentation. Mine is a question and also a comment. First of all, I know the reality is, whether we like it or not, we have to embrace embrace technology in the form of AI, because machine learning has a lot of accuracies, and without a doubt, it is the way to go. However, my question to you is there a way of, because predominantly you've talked about it from an administrative point of view, which helps with the billing. We've been doing a lot of guesswork in terms of the different clients. Is there a way that also AI can be blended with the kind of work that we do, for example, creative work, such that even when you're given a brief, the learnings from the brief can be able to specifically say, okay, you know what, this client doesn't really know what they want, and suggest that maybe this is what will work for them. So that can be presented to the client before you get to the point of the actual work. It saves, I believe it will help save a lot of the back and forth. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Peter, for the question. I think what you're mentioning is what you're asking and mentioning is really exciting. I might assume that there is any other tool that might provide that kind of creative suggestion based on the client needs. What Core will tell you is how much time that specific creative work that the client is requesting to you might take you based on previous experiences, right? If you started designing a website, if you design a website for that client and it took you 80 hours, and then the client requests another website and it takes you 100 hours. So then the third time you're going to execute that task, that project, like a website, web design, it's going to take you, Core will estimate 90 hours, right? The average between both. And the more info it has, the more it will learn, and it will automatically suggest everything based on the time, not based on the content. But we can definitely, I mean, and I am talking about Core, we're always integrating ourselves with a lot of different solutions for creative agencies, right? Our vision is to be the -- 1 agency solution, right? So in the world. So if either you or our team find a solution that does the same thing that we do, but for the content generation on the brief stage, we can definitely integrate ourselves and provide you guys with this solution.
Okay, thank you, Santi. Do we have any more questions? In case you want to ask the question, you could also raise your hand such that we hand the mic over to you. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Santi, once again for your presentation. I believe it has been enlightening, and we've learned a couple of things along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me introduce and invite the Uganda Advertising Association Chairman, Mr. Frank Muthuzi, to give us some remarks, and then we'll proceed from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. And yeah, sorry, just you can write me, santi@projectcore.com for anything you might need.
All right. So thank you, Santi, for your team reaching out. I think the presentation is very enlightening. And like Peter Igaga said, I think technology is something we need to embrace. And we're happy we had this talk. And you know, the role of Uganda Advertising Association is to see, okay, how can we improve the standards of Uganda Advertising Association as a whole? And this conversation has been very enlightening. So thank you to you, thank you to Mikhail for reaching out. To the guys who are joining in, Happy New Year, everybody. This year, we're excited. We're going to do exciting things as Uganda Advertising Association. If I can just, drop some of the key things that we want to do. I don't know if Adone is here. Last year, we've done, I think, six of these webinars. And, so we decided we need to brand this webinar and give it a name. So, we will come out and tell you this branding and why we've chosen the name and the branding that we have. We're also going to move into the space of awards. I mean, for the longest time, we've discussed about awards, local awards. So this year we're going to launch Uganda Advertising Association Awards, which we're very excited about, and a lot of trainings from Uganda, also trainings from abroad. The partnership that now we have with Can Lions to benefit the entire country. So thank you very much. And so Denise, over to you. I don't know if Adoni is here.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Just to put it out there, these webinars will be recorded and posted on the Uganda Advertising Association's YouTube channel. So in case you need these recordings, do head over to their YouTube channel and subscribe. Secondly, do follow Uganda Advertising Association on Twitter, Facebook. On Twitter, it's Uganda Advertising Association. And the same applies for Facebook. Let me just check if Adonia is on, such that he can give a presentation on how the webinars, on the launch of the new outlook of the webinars for the Uganda Advertising Association. And then we will close this webinar. Okay, I don't see him on. Okay, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. I hope you've
Hi, Dennis.
Oh, there you are. Thank you for joining us. Do take us through the new look and feel of the webinar, of our webinars.
All right, if I could just get right to share my screen. I don't know if that's already possible. Kindly advise.
You have been given this right. I believe you can share your screen now.
Right, thank you so much. Just give me a second.
Kindly keep your mics muted and your videos off to enable a seamless session. Thank you.
All right, I hope you guys can see my screen. Just kindly confirm.
Yes, we can.
All right, so as the publicity committee, we were given a task to come up with a platform or to develop an identity for a platform that can give us, can allow us, to have conversations, such as the ones that we're having. But we wanted to have to develop something that can encompass any kind of conversation. It could be on technology, it could be on a training, it could be pretty much on anything that involves the world that we live and work in. So we went went back to the drawing board and looked at what are the origins of advertising, or what are some of those things that that define our roots, so we looked at finance, we looked at creative, we looked at media, and then we came up with something that we believe will give us the legs and the platform to have conversations, on different things. So I'll just quickly walk through. Sorry, I need to. So basically, the brief that we received from the UAA team was to develop a brand identity for the webinars or for the engagement platforms, and we looked out for, we wanted to give ourselves a big enough reason, a foundation for us to develop the name. And the insight that we went with is that, this advertising world is a space to paint possibilities or new possibilities. And that is what we want the ad world to be. We want it to be so open that whoever joins or whoever is already in here appreciates that it's an open slate. It's a clean a clean slate for us to paint whatever we want. And there's also, from a training's perspective, we want to be able to empower people to break the mold. We want to encourage a spirit and a brand of Ugandan advertising that views itself as breakers of molds, as guys who want to get into new spaces. So that was our insight. So we developed the canvas. Now the canvas, from a creative perspective, the canvas is, if for the guys who didn't go to art school, the canvas is like a board, yeah. And if a painter or an artist is setting out to draw anything, it all starts with having a canvas. Now it doesn't matter what they want to paint. There is a canvas for each and everything that they want to paint. If someone wants to paint a certain mural, if it's a painting with whatever they want to paint, regardless of what they want to paint, there's a very specific mural. So we looked at it from that perspective. If you want to talk about, for example, technology, there's a very separate mural for that. If you want to talk about media, we have the mural for that. If you want to talk about, design, the place to go to do that is the canvas. So that this way we are redefining, we are constantly painting a picture of the advertising world that we all want to be proud and part of. So obviously what we are looking at has been worked on over time, and the UAA team has had several looks at this, and what we're looking at today has been, or rather is, the identity that has been really tested, and we believe this is this best represents the Uganda's advertising world. So we have very different texts of this, but all of these sitting within UAA's brand world that I'm sure some of us have begun to interact with on our different platforms. We have it on white, we have it on the red, we have it in black, and then we have it in the yellow. But we wanted to keep it very simple, but also a bit abstract, because we believe that abstract is what will allow us to speak at the different events, not so tied to one particular thing. That the design aesthetic is again also modern. We've applied a very modern font to it. If you can see the A in there carries the stand and the canvas. So we wanted it to be almost nondescript, but still communicating the persona of the brand that we're developing. So this is what our event banners, starting from this one, this is what our event banners will look like. Very colorful, but also a bit sophisticated. So our events, we do plan to branch out, once the situation gets better, we do plan to branch out into physical events. So some of the branding that we hope to put out there, very bold, but also very understated. And just some bit of collateral that we give out. We're still working on a few other elements, but for now, this is all we can share. So we appreciate any feedback through, obviously, the Secretariat. We'll be willing to just tie up the loose ends if any. Thank you so much, Denise. Frank, if you'd like to chip in, maybe go for it.
Nothing very much specific to add. Mine is just to say thank you for the good work that you've done. And, to Uganda Advertising Association, the Canvas, a platform where creative conversations happen. You will see more of this, bigger and better in 2022. So thank you very much.